I understand that this position takes a lot of time, and I'm not even saying, look, if we were in a position where all of our teachers were competitively paid and all our staff was competitively paid and our spots were filled and our schools' roofs were fixed, then I would certainly be willing to consider it. But if and until, I am not.
I'll take the unpopular stance that I think we should approve this motion. It's mostly for future boards. It hasn't been done since 2009. I'm fine to go in the firing squad for this. I absolutely believe we should pay our teachers, and I'm going to vote to approve a budget that does that. I absolutely believe that we should pay our paras, and we should be looking at all of these things. But I absolutely believe the work that this board does in making all of those decisions absolutely matters and is important and should be taken seriously as well. This is a service-oriented job, and I think part of the reason that teachers and paras and cafeteria workers and bus drivers aren't paid the work that they deserve is because it's a service-oriented job, and we tend to say things like, well, until we get what we need for somebody else, we're not going to look at this or that or whatever. And we go out and we buy our own supplies at Walmart. Trust me, I've been a teacher for 28 years now. And I understand what that feels like and what that looks like. And I think valuing the work that service-oriented professions do means you value the work that service-oriented professions do in all cases. I come from the mindset, again, I know this is probably going to be a very unpopular opinion, and I'm fine with whatever the board decides, but I think we need to change our mindset and value the work that is in service to our community, and this is certainly work that is in service to our community. It has not been updated since 2009. I surely would be outraged if we hadn't updated other areas since 2009. The Board of Supervisors is, as stated, is $2,000 a month. I think we work just as hard, and the community should value that.
We want to be able to have good people run, and it takes time and money, and I think it's not a reward if we don't make sure that school board members are getting paid for their time. Then we'll have people only people who run that don't have to have an income, and that's not necessarily a good thing for our community. So that's why I feel as though there should be an increase. It's been way too long. We say we need to continually make adjustments for inflation for our staff, and I've been one that has continually and will continually advocate for increases in budgets for our staff. The Board of Supervisors gets paid twice as much as we do, and just like our staff in our school division is larger, and I feel works twice as much and hard as our county employees, and county employees get their increases in merit pay all the time, and it's really unfair. And so I think that same compensation should go to school board, but then also for the employees within our division. So with that, I will be voting for the increase.
The goal is not, oh, wow, we get to make more money. That is not why I went into public servant, in a public servant role, because my husband certainly would want me to do other things where I can make more money. But, of course, I stayed in education because I know there's value here. Saying that, we as public servants, as some of my colleagues have already stated, that we work hard. And I know that this is a volunteer, pseudo-volunteer position, but we still work hard for what we do. If you count the number of meetings that we've gone to, we've been to several meetings a year. And I can't even count how many at this point, but I know it's well over 12. So I do think that as public servants, we do deserve some compensation on one hand, but on the other hand, I do understand that we want to make sure our staff and administrators and paraprofessionals are taken care of at the same time. I know last year during the budget time, we make sure we prioritize the preparers during that time. So I do appreciate the board for doing that. We are making strides. We can't say at this juncture that, wait a minute, we don't deserve anything because we haven't given everybody else something. Well, we have given, and we continue to give every single year. And maybe there's a year we didn't for whatever reason. Maybe it was the pandemic. I don't know at this point because I don't have that information in front of me. But I do believe we try to give every year, and we will continue to provide incentives, raises, cost of living adjustments to our staff here in Spotsylvania County. Saying that, I'm going to vote for this measure because I do believe since 2009 we have not had any adjustments. I mean, I don't know of anyone that would say we can't do it because we didn't, because it was 2009. We don't deserve it in 2025. I couldn't say that. That's a long, long time to not have an adjustment.
I agree. It is a lot of work. I know how much work and dedication I put into this position, and I know how much hard work and dedication I put into as an advocate, as a parent for 7 years before I even considered running for school board. It was never the intention was because of money. The intention is because you care about students, you care about staff, and you care about families, and you want the best for kids. So there is, one opinion of that. I mean, in my opinion, I don't see, I can't imagine having a position be, you get paid so much and honest people are running for that position. I mean, it seems a little backwards to me. So that's one part. Sorry, my notes are a little all over the place. So I'm not saying that the board is not deserving of it, but again, as much work as I know that I put in, I know that our teachers and staff have been putting in for years and years and years and years and years and years and not seeing hardly any increases. Now, I know Dr. Mitchell is working really hard, as we are, to build those relationships with the supervisors. And really, it's not even just about building the relationship. It's about providing that transparency to them instead of kind of hitting them all with it at one meeting, at a budget. It's really about them being able to understand the process, really see the needs, and make goals together on what we can do. And I think we're going to make some strides in the right direction with that. And so it may be a few years before we can really, that is the goal, to really get our teachers and our staff caught up as soon as possible. But I really don't know when that time frame would be. Having said all that, the only way that I would support this is if we change the date to it going into effect in January of 2028. Because that is when none of us are guaranteed to actually be on this board. And if that can happen, that's fine. I'm just saying that is the only way that I could support this. So that is truly making it for future boards, not for ourselves, because we would not be voting for ourselves for a pay raise, because we have no clue. We know some people won't be on this board, others may, but we have no clue what the future will hold. So that is my opinion. If we keep it as is, I will vote against it, not because I don't believe that it's due time, but I believe that we have to take care of our people before we are prioritizing ourselves. We are not the top priority. Thank you. Motion fails 3-4. Did I do that right?